Kaleidoscope, a weekly talk show for women, by women, about women, between women. From the voice that is desperate to be heard to the heroine story that inspires. Every Tuesday from 4 to 5 p.m. on my CY Radio with Mike DeZenon. Hello and welcome back to Kaleidoscope. We continue on our conversations with participants in the fifth convening of the Forward Global Women organization that took place in Nicosia. And now we have with us a wonderful person, a co-founder and one of the conveners, Rula Quawas. Welcome, Rula.
Thank you very much for the lovely introduction. Yes, thank you. I'm glad to be here and to be part of the conversation.
And you love conversations, and we both love storytelling.
Oh my God, you're telling me the conversation is it.
Yes.
Without it, we're dead.
Yes, and without the personal narrative. If we didn't have the personal narrative, words mean nothing.
Exactly. Totally agree.
So let's put the listeners into context. You're a professor at the University of Jordan on linguistics, American literature, and feminist theory.
Yes.
And you're an educator of feminisms in Jordan.
Yes.
Is it different from being an educator of feminisms in another country? Is it difficult in a country that we Westerners see as patriarchal more than what we have in our country?
Oh my God, and you love storytelling. I think it's really very tough. But at the very end of the day, you go with your passion. I think, I have a PhD in feminist theory and American literature. So I do it through texts and storytelling. Mm. It's really very tough because even whenever you say feminism, it's not really very much highly regarded in Arab countries. They think of you as, you're a feminist, so you are a feminazi. You're a man-hater. Yes. You bash men. As if you go into the classroom and you ask all of your kids not to get married, that all of the men, are antagonistic to you. And that's not it, by the way. I think part of feminism is for women to have the self-worth and the self-esteem. And of course it's different, to be quite honest, because this is an accusation, that is hurled upon us, that we teach Western feminism.
Yes.
And I believe this is dead wrong, to be quite honest, because feminism is homegrown. It comes from your country. It's context-bound. We have our own feminisms, not only one feminism, because feminism is not monolithic.
It's not static, it's fluid.
Definitely, beautifully said. It's very dynamic. Yes. Okay, it is even in Jordan. The north, the south, east, and west. Okay, whether you live in the city, you live in in a village, or in a town, it's different. But for me, the simplistic definition of feminism is to know that you count, to know that you're enough as a human being. You're a human being after all. So why do I have to brand you as a woman and to belittle what you do?
Yes.
So it's tough. It's very tough to be called a feminist. But you know what? I say it out loud, in a big voice, loud voice, from my heart. I roar like thunder or like a lion. Everybody knows at the university that I'm a feminist.
But there's a lovely expression, I think it's Maya Angelou, that says that, why wouldn't I be a feminist? Why wouldn't I defend my own rights?
Maya Angelou is one of my favorite writers ever. And, you remind me of, no matter what happens, I will rise. Of course. Some of the women I teach, they don't want to be stigmatized. They don't want to be marginalized.
Because of the way they are seen within the Jordanian community.
Because, in the Jordanian community, whenever you say that you're a feminist, it means that you're un-Islamic, anti-Islam.
You hate men.
You hate men. You do not want to get married. You're a lesbian at times. Yes. So all of these, just like labels complicate matters. And I think, to be quite honest, at the very beginning, I was pissed off. Why are they saying all of these points? But then you come to understand because they're illiterate. They lack the knowledge. So what do? You give them that knowledge, or you create a space for them to make that knowledge, which is very important for their well-being.
And what is that knowledge that you make them aware of, or you give the space to explore on their own?
I think I start with, we go back to the idea of storytelling, because, they are 21 years or something.
Do you teach graduate students, you said?
I teach PhD students, MA students, and sometimes, because I love the undergrads.
Bit more,
oh my God.
Newer, undeveloped.
And they are not only that, by the way, they're willing to listen to you, and and it's not a matter of I would like to be in that context They're vibrant, lively, full of life and so on. And they're willing to read more even because they do not have lots of readings. Like PhD students, they have better, just like they have heavy loads,
Yes, okay.
and they do not have the time. So it's to go back to to teaching.
Yes.
Okay, I think to make that knowledge, it's through a story.
Okay.
So we read stories written by Arab women writers in translation, because we have many women writers who write in English.
Yes.
So you read that story and you won't believe the aha moments that my students express in the classroom, because every single story, like you see yourself as the main character in that story.
You identify.
That's my life.
Whoops, that happened to me.
That happened to me. And by the way, it's so educating because you know that you're not alone. You're not secluded or estranged from what is really going on. You're part of, just like, life. And they give you tutorial lessons. And you don't have to follow them, of course, because you have to find your way. You cannot tell them this is the way. There is no one way.
It's not written in stone.
It's not written in stone. They have to be the one to break ground. They have to be the one to learn, to unlearn, and to relearn, to write and to unwrite. This is what they have to do. And it's the beauty of it, the discovery.
So do you have small classes or big classes?
Whenever I teach a feminist theory class, sometimes I have 20. The other, in the spring semester, I had 52 young women.
Wow. Is it not difficult to make a safe space with more children, more kids, more adults?
I think because it's an elective course, so the ones who sign up for it know that it is going to be on feminisms, okay, and they know that I'm the teacher, so they are willing to sign up for it.
Okay.
So 52, but of course we have a social contract at the very beginning of the classroom, non-judgmental space, a space of love and empathy. You listen, you respond, you dive into yourself.
And what is said here stays here?
Oh, beautifully said. And I say this all the time. Because I can see it in their eyes, the spark, like they have this idea that they would like to share with everyone, but also the fear, inhibiting, crippling, just like this so cobwebby.
Yes.
And then I say, you know what, you can say it, and what we say stays in the classroom.
What do they say? What happens you have a Las Vegas moment. What happens in Las Vegas stays in
Las Vegas. Here, what happens in a classroom stays in a classroom.
It's because they usually have hen parties or bachelor parties
Yes.
in Las Vegas. So what happens there, no one knows about.
Exactly. We have many hen parties.
Tell me, what kind of stories do you read to them? Who are your favorite or the authors you consider good to use?
That's very
or you
good
enjoy
question.
using, not good to use.
Yeah, I choose tough stories.
Okay. Tough as in?
Tough and brave stories. Like the writer is not inhibited. She's able to spill the beans and she's not afraid to tell the truth authentically and genuinely. Like for instance, Nawal al-Saadawi, like Hanan al-Sheikh, Fadi al-Faqir, all of these women writers, Leila Abu al-Ula, you have Muhj al-Kaf, all of these writers, are not restricted, because sometimes you can tell when you teach a story that there's a border that you cannot cross. So I teach books that are laden with controversy, that are laden
break
with
the box. Let's
exactly.
step out of the box.
I want them to push back, and I want them to be challenged, and I want them to contest and to speak back to the community and to the story, and to deconstruct and to debunk.
That's the most important thing, because we all get stuck in the construct that society fixes for us.
Definitely, because
So we've got to deconstruct to think, why is it bad to be overweight?
Yes, definitely.
And then you think, but is it bad to be overweight?
Yeah. And
Health-wise, yes, it is bad, but does it make me ugly?
Yeah.
And who decided I'm ugly because I'm overweight?
Exactly. And by the way, we go, and it's painful, by the way, because I remember like one of the students had a chipped tooth, and she had a lovely smile, but she was hiding it.
Because of the tooth.
So I took her aside. I remember at one time I said, you know what, why are you hiding? And she complained about that tooth that she cannot really fix. I said, you know what, forget it. You have a beautiful smile. You have a smile in your heart. Everybody has to see that smile. Again, we talk about weight, for instance, because I'm overweight myself. So I say, because you look at yourself, yes, it's not good for your health. And you try to work on it. God knows how much You want to be healthy and you want to do the right thing. But sometimes it's more complicated than that.
It's not that simple, yes.
It's not, but I say, you know what, you have to love yourself. Okay, the flabbiness, the weight, okay, the ugliness between quotation marks, because who says what's ugly? And they say, you know what, instead of wearing makeup, wear confidence.
Absolutely.
Come to the classroom with confidence. That is your makeup for today.
But they always say the best thing you can wear is confidence.
Yes, definitely.
The best thing you can wear
definitely. And to make eye contact.
Yes.
Because where I come from, in the Jordanian community, they teach you. They give you this cultural script. A woman has to be modest, submissive, to nod her head and so on. So you don't make eye contact. I say, you know what, damn it.
Excuse me.
Make eye contact. You have beautiful eyes. Let people see your soul.
And what a beautiful message to end the conversations with the participants of the 5th convening of Forward Global Women. Rula Quawas says, ladies, let people see your soul. Thank you, Rula. Thank you to all the participants that I have spoken to during the course of this month. And to the listeners, thank you for listening in. Until next week, be happy. Kaleidoscope, a weekly talk show for women, by women, about women, between women. From the voice that is desperate to be heard to the heroine story that inspires. Every Tuesday from 4 to 5 p.m. on my CY Radio with Mike DeZenon.